read the third time and passed. The 10th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to provide for legal framework for the protection of personal information and establish the Nigeria Data Protection Commission for the regulation of the processing of personal information and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Other members recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, April 5th, 2023, and I invite the Leader of the House to move that the bill be read a second time. Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleagues, Comrade Peter Patterson, MNI, I represent the great people of Akoko Edo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Edo State. Now I move that the bill for an act to provide for legal framework for the protection of personal information and establish the Nigeria Data Protection Commission for the regulation of processing of personal information and for related matters, HB, should be read for the second time. Mr. Speaker, I also move that the bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Police Force College, Training School and Institution to serve as center for the professional training of officers of the Nigerian Police Force and for related matters, HB 2204, be read for the second time. And that the bill for an act to establish Federal University of Sports, Nkalago, Ebonyi State, and for related matters, HB 1814, be read for the second time. Also, that a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Nigeria Building and Roads Research Institute, and for related matters, HB 2197, be read for the second time. That's it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Halims. The second all three.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable colleagues, Abdullah Ibrahim Halims is my name. I am from Kogi State. I represent the good people of Ankwa, Omala, Lamboro Federal Constituency. I rise to support the motion that Bill number 101112 be read for the second time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor, please say aye. Let's get say no. Ayes have it. The first bill is referred to the Committee of Police Affairs, and the others referred to the Committee of the Whole. The 14th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to provide the legal framework to establish specialist hospital and infectious disease center in Kaduna State and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Amos Magaji. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 23rd June 2022, and I invite Honorable Ogwama to move that the bill be now read a second time. Oh, sorry, before that, yes, sorry, you haven't read the long titles of the last three bills. Go ahead, Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act provides a legal framework for the protection of personal information and establish the Nigeria Data Protection Commission for the regulation of the processing of personal information and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to establish the Nigeria Police Force College, Training School and Institution to serve as centers for the professional training of officers of the Nigeria Police Force and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to establish Federal University of Sports in Kalabu, Ebonyi State and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to provide for establishment of Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute and for related matters. Second reading.
Thank you. The bills are as earlier referred. Fourth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to provide a legal framework to establish a specialist hospital in infectious diseases in Kaduna and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Magaji. I now invite Honorable Magaji to move that the bill be now read a second time. Amos.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Amos Gwamna Magaji. I represent the peaceful people of Zangon Katov, Jaba Federal Constituency. We are from Kaduna State. Mr. Speaker, I hereby move that the bill for an act to provide legal framework to establish specialist hospital and infectious disease Center, Kwai, Kaduna State, and for related matter be read the second time. I so move.
Honorable Salam.
Mr. Speaker, my name is Bamidele Salam. I represent the fantastic people of Ede North, Ede South, Egbedore, Ejigbo Federal Constituency of Osun State. I rise to second the motion that the bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the establishment framework for established specialist hospital and infectious disease center, Koi in Kaduna State, ably moved by Representative Gwamna Magaji, be read the second time. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
All right. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk, long title.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act provide legal framework to establish specialist hospital and infectious diseases center, OI, Kaduna State and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Health Institutions. Is Honorable Ofumelu here? Ofumelu is not here, please. Okay, so this bill is stepped down. Sixteenth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Technology, Ikot Abasi, in Akwa Ibom State, and for related matters, stand in the name of Honorable Francis Charles Udiok. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read for the first time on Tuesday, 4th April 2023, and I invite Honorable Udiok to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, my name is Francis Charles Uduyok. I represent the Korabasin Paranin, Eastern Obolo. I am from Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that a bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Technology, Korabasi, Akwa Ibom State, and for other related matter, HB 2198, be read the second time. I so move.
Alkali, please second.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Honorable Muhammad Adam Alkali, Passages North Federal Constituency, Plateau State. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by Honorable Francis Charles. I so second.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish Federal University of Technology, Ipot Abasi, Akwa Ibom State, and for related matters, second reading.
Okay, this bill is referred to the Committee of the Whole. The 17th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act. Is Honorable Abonta here? You are ready? Yes, bill for an act to make provisions for the procedure to petitions in the National Assembly. For grievance, to enhance the participation of people in government, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Uzoma Nke Mabonta. Honorable members recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 6 October 2022, and now I invite Honorable Abonta to move that the bill will now read a second time. No.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Uzoma Nkima Bonta. I'm from Abia State, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that a bill for an act to make provisions for the procedure to petition the National Assembly for grievances to enhance the participation of people in government and for related matters be read for the second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Francis, you want to second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain the Honorable Francis Otaabo. I speak for Outdoor Poko Badibo Federal Constituency. I am proudly based with the Food Basket State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second that the bill, ably sponsored by the Honorable Abonta, be read for the second time. Thank you.
Honorable Abonta, can you please explain this? Can you explain this bill?
Honorable Kudri, go and take your seat. Is that your seat?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Is that your seat?
The bill simply seeks to deepen democracy. Mr. Speaker, our democratic institutions continue to thrive in Nigeria. It's only necessary and fits that the parliament will keep evolving ways of letting the people's voice be heard and strengthen the democratic institutions. Mr. Speaker, one of the ways this could be done is by strengthening the public participation in the democratic institutions and not only making them have their voices to be heard. Mr. Speaker, this came out of my experience in public petition and after a comparative study of what also happens in other democratic climes. Mr. Speaker, people are, when aggrieved, the only way they can or not satisfied with a government policy or a government thing or happenings, the only way they can make known is to lay a formal complaint to the House, who will now look at it, consider it, and come out with a resolution that, if backed by proper legal framework, will not merely be mere wish or recommendations. Presently, we have a modality of petitions. I will differentiate what I'm asking for and what we have now. For example, to petition the House now, you must come through a member who lays the petition. It is almost optional or when convenient for the committee to hear it and come with a resolution. But trying to give people a voice, should there be a procedure, set of people who are aggrieved, and upon 10,000 signatories on an issue verifiable, based on the conditions of the House will then feel compelled to hear that petition. It will no longer be at the discretion of the committee or the House. It will be topical. I'll give you an example, Mr. Speaker. We had
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was trying to come to an example. You see, people are eager to want their voices heard. People are eager to make them know that they are participating in the democracy, that they are not mere spectators. I'll give you an example. The very infamous NSAS that we just witnessed. If they had sent in a petition of 10,000 youths, verifiably or whatever, based on standard House will set, the House will now obligatorily hear it and come up to a resolution one way or the other. They will now feel that their complaints is being attended, is being listened to. The House may step down and say, upon verifying of such signatures, within 21 days, they must come to a resolution one way or the other. They will also feel that their voices are counting. But now, people resort to all kind of either violence, either strike, or other vices that are not good because they think that their voice does not matter. There are a lot of policies that people are aggrieved. They do not have to bring it. But if there's a proper procedure like we have in UK, US, and all whatnot, then they will do the petition. It is for us to now verify what is happening, then we'll be able to know. So the bill seeks to institutionalize citizens' participatory in what we're doing. And only the Parliament will resolve to have such, so can give them a voice and participation. And that's the way of deepening democracy. That's what this bill is purely asking for. It is not asking to extinguish what we have now. What we have now is that a convenient of members and their constituents. But this will be people to ignite it and do it. Once we verify, 10,000 youths, 100,000 youths, as prescribed, had asked that this thing be heard, the House or the Parliament will now hear it and consider it properly. It will help us to reduce friction. It will help us to increase participation. It will bring, it will end some acrimonious stress on it. Therefore, that's what this bill is asking for. If at a public hearing, experts and all those on social work will be able to fine-tune, including the House, what is the proper procedure to place petition. Then you see that people will stop incident strikes, incident riot, and unnecessary bickering and so on. That is the purport and the taste of this. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. So I just want to understand what the bill is about. So really, the public petition, as we have it, remains. What you are trying to do is to amend the procedure for public petitions. Are you amending the procedure for public petitions? Go ahead.
I am not amending the procedure. I am adding to it. I am not amending the procedure.
You are adding to it.
Adding to it. What we have now remains where a family member or a constituent says, I've been sacked unduly. I present it. That petition can only be heard at the convenience, legislative convenience of the committee, of the chairman or whatever. What I'm saying is that a grievance that cuts across multiple constituencies, the entire youth, how do they express it? Another example, like NSAS, who said, we want SARS out of the road, for example, then. All they need to do is to put a petition. If there are 10,000 signatories, 100,000 signatories as prescribed, the House now will obligatorily hear it within a specified number of days and resolve one way or the other. By so doing, we give them participation. Their voice will be heard. What goes on here still remains the way it is. But now the public petition in quote, or the national petition that affects nationality, that is not individualistic or familistic, will now be heard. That's the procedure. It's an addition to what we are doing so that we can now allow the people participate, bring their voice, and so on. And then the House will also feel responsive in their duties. Thank you.
Honorable Sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Osai Nicholas Osai, and I represent the Kwani Federal Constituency of Delta State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to adopt a beautiful submission being canvassed by a known...
Honorable Osby, don't leave yet.
By a known bill machine. Why do I need to adopt that? Mr. Speaker, the mover of this bill have streamlined the issues of participatory democracy. The House and the chamber of this House is the temple of democracy. Mr. Speaker, by what Honorable Bonta have initiated, it goes to show in some climes, especially hybrid parliamentary system, where the people in making laws come from a bottom-top approach. I think that's what this bill is all about. A bottom-top approach to resolving issues of society. Mr. Speaker, according to the mover, this bill will confer another power to the legitimacy of the people. Now, there are certain issues that arise in public, in the nation. The people make petition even when the members of the chamber, members of the National Assembly are not ready to hear those matters. The people's voice must be heard because the law has said so. So it creates a balance between the people and the people that have conferred legitimacy to. That creates a balance. Now you are not looking at, when this law has created a balance, you are giving the people voice again. Not only the voice of the representative, but their own voice must be heard. I think that's what these laws tend to be. Mr. Speaker, the law is in tandem with Section 88, 89. That is issues of oversight. It strengthens our oversight functions. It brings us closer to the people more. There are certain laws in the United States of America, Mr. Speaker, when you are creating a law, and probably the law is not in tandem with what the people want, the people petition. This is what this law is all about. And when the people petition, he ties the parliament's hand to listen to the people. It is not an option whether the parliament will resolve the issues or not. But this bill will tie the parliament's hand to listen to the people. I think this is the essence of this bill. I think innovations are needed in certain democracy. And you see, we are trying to build democratic culture into our country. And that's what this bill is all about. So I intend to align myself completely with the vision, with the content, with everything about this bill as initiated by the mover of this bill. Mr. Speaker, distinguished, you remember in the 8th Assembly, Mr. Speaker, I brought a bill on oversight. And the essence of bringing the bill is to use the instrumentality of the parliament to strengthen the legislature. That's the essence of it, and this is one of the kind. So, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, I urge my colleagues, as long as it's going to strengthen that quasi-judiciary system within the public petition, as long as he wants to strengthen the confidence the people will have in us, that they have a parliament that can say, do this, and they do. As long as this law is with the people, as long as this law lays its foundation with the people, as long as this law gives a voice to the people, even when they have elected a representative. So I urge my honorable members and my honorable colleagues to see that this bill is necessary, and it requires the necessary speed of light to pass this bill without delay. I so submit.
Honorable Toby.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Toby Okechukwu. I represent an area of Wojiriba Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I stand to support this bill for an act to make provision for the procedure to petition the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I think this bill is essentially more than establishing the procedure for petitions to the National Assembly. Because for the public or for Nigerians to petition the National Assembly, we have a procedure where each and every citizen can petition through the representatives for us to hear their grievances. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, such petitions Mr. Speaker, I appear to be distracted.
Yeah, so am I. Go ahead.
Thank you for...
Go ahead.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, the previous petitions which comes through members of parliament usually appears to be adversarial. It is usually complaints from constituents who have suffered some injury in a parastatal at their relationship, business relationships, and they want that particular grievance to be addressed. Mr. Speaker, this petition, as being canvassed by a colleague, is actually a reflection of the definition which I believe was brought to the public domain by Abraham Lincoln, when he said that democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. What does this mean, Mr. Speaker? There isn't any provision. There isn't any provision or any in our laws to show that this is where majority or a number of Nigerians can bring an agenda-setting policy for government to deal with. If, for instance, we introduce and make it a matter of a function of law that when 10,000 or 100,000 Nigerians want, for instance, the reintroduction of history in our curriculum, it's not adversarial, it's a matter of what the citizens feel. And it is incumbent on Parliament to hear such petitions. Well, I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for stopping the technological ambush. Mr. Speaker, I think this petition, this bill is quite in order, deepening up our democracy. How do I mean? Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, quite contrary to the petitions which an individual citizen can bring, it is an agenda setting where policies of government can be made to come into being by the feeling of Nigerians. Mr. Speaker, you know what we have felt and what we have done regarding state police. You know the feeling of Nigerians regarding state police. You know the feeling of Nigerians regarding local government autonomy. Mr. Speaker, is there any platform or practice where we can see is there the number of Nigerians who feel that way? It is on record that a good number of our state governors are interested in having state police. A good number of parliamentarians are interested in having it. But we cannot measure the feeling of the number of Nigerians who are interested in such a measure. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I believe that this bill is quite germane. It will help us to, as a barometer, to check how Nigerians feel. If, for instance, we say that if 100,000 Nigerians canvass for a position, we know the collateral consequence for legislators or Nigerians or government to ignore such a petition. It means it is compelling. It will go beyond persuasive authority for us to deal with it. It is more, it will have some kind of measure that majority of Nigerians would want this to be in place. Some of us feel hurt when you go back to your constituency. They say, why have you not dealt on this matter this way? But if by this bill we can get Nigerians to set their own agenda, for government to fill their purse, for parliamentarians to know that overwhelming number of Nigerians, you can't ignore a petition signed by 1 million Nigerians, by 2 million Nigerians. So this law, this bill, when it is debated and we had a public hearing, we will be able to assess the practice in other jurisdictions. We will be able to understand the procedure for it to come into place. So I recommend it that it should pass second reading so that we will do justice to it. And essentially, it addresses the matter of deepening our democracy. Thank you very much.
Okay, I haven't seen the details of this bill. I don't know the requirements, the conditions, how many people, what other hurdles do you have to satisfy for you to bring that petition? Because you need to be very careful, because you may more or less be introducing a third category of bills. You have legislative bills, you have executive bills. Now you have public bills, more or less. Now, and that is good. It's a good. I actually like the idea of this bill, but we have to look at the very gray areas and consequences unforeseen. I don't know. So, are you obligated when you have something about 10,000 signatures? Are you obligated to pass it into law? You'll be obligated to hear. But if you feel 10 or 100,000 people, do you know the consequences of that? Are you aware of that's why I said unforeseen consequences. Because if you believe in yourself and you disagree with whatever that petition is, for instance, if you remember some time ago when we all went around to our different constituencies for constitutional amendment and asking of their position in certain areas. If you remember correctly, in many areas we were all shocked that the people that came to the town hall meetings, they said no, they didn't want state police. A lot of people said they didn't want state police at the grassroots, and they had their own personal reasons for not wanting state police. So under that condition, and somebody comes and signs 100,000 signatures, are you obligated to go with that position?
No, I do not think you will be obligated to legislate it into law, but you will be obligated to review it, and in so doing, it will come to a better enlightenment. It will come to a better education of both the citizen and the person reviewing it.
And in our climb, do you think if 100,000 people send signatures or 500,000 people, and you say you are obligated to review it, and then you turn it down, after that, what do you think the consequences will be?
Mr. Speaker, you can't turn it down blindly.
No. I'm not talking about turning down blind. No, you turn it out. You turn it down, fully informed and believing in yourself.
You will come to a better course of action.
Hold on a second. You turn it down, believing, truly convinced with yourself that no, this is not good for this country. About 500,000 people believe it is. How do you strike it? You are farming your responsibility. They have delegated legislative work to you. They have delegated legislative work to you. You are now sending it back to them. If you send it back to them and they fulfill those obligations, I dare say, for political reasons, you are obligated to pass whatever they tell you. I can tell you that. You just used an example of NSAS. If you had received 500 or 1 million signatures saying you must scrap the police, but you don't believe in it, you are obligated.
No, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the point to make is that you would have seen reasons to look into the defects of SARS, and it would have been a preventive measure in favor of the wishes of citizens not to scrap NSAS but to modify their operations, or it becomes necessary.
Now, why can't these matters be brought? I like the bill, I like the novelty, But we need to be careful when you're trying to deal with the problem. You don't want to create another problem. Now, what you're talking about, why do we have motions of urgent public importance? Why do we have motions of urgent public importance under a motion of urgent public importance?
But you never knew how the citizens were feeling. And at the end of the day, you didn't look at it.
Because you see, this way you are creating, you are even making it.
I yield the floor to the mover of
You
the
are
bill.
even making it more difficult for people out there if they have to jump through hoops. If they have to jump through hoops to bring something they could have brought through one of their members. They could have brought it through one of their members, but now you are making them go and sign 100,000, 200,000 signatures. How? You are making it more difficult for them to bring their matters to the floor. No, the right of reply is at the end. Yes. No, I'm guiding.
Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, Sadokin Awudi, I think I want to remind them so that they understand they are not just a sitting speaker, but a title holder who is jealously guiding and protecting our traditions and culture. And this is part of it that I thought were a very decorous society, sir. My name is Ahmed Idris. I represent Wasifere constituency of Plateau State. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, I want to say, and line my argument behind what you have said. Nowhere in the world, and I repeat, like said by Osai, nowhere in the world that we have such kind of law where legislators would put in a question and affirm or in the negative, and then there will be another public opinion that they will force them not to go back to take discussion into the matter. I think we should not do things that will create chaos into the country. This is a very growing democracy that we have to protect jealously and guard it. And by guarding is ensuring that what is put in our grand norms, the Constitution, is protected. We have the Committee on Popular Petition through the creation of the House rules. And they have one of the first function of the parliament in Nigeria today, as you get in, is to listen to complaints before any other time after prayers. That is the first duty that we are asked to do. And it's sufficient ground and procedure for us to listen to issues and concerns. Apart from that, sir, you have the Public Complaint Commission established at the Ombudsman, whereby people are even allowed to go and write, hiding their names, to bring out issues so that they can discuss and again liaise with the Committee on Public Petition. Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, I think I have an utmost respect for my brother, Honorable Bonta, that this democracy under this fragile, when you know that a lot, I'm not trying to accuse my countrymen, to verify the signatures today is something else. One person have the potency to sit under one small roof and generate names and generate signatures and put the country into confusion. I think we should not allow that on this. We have sufficient grounds for Nigerians to lay in and push out their grievances, and the parliament have always addressed that. We have never shied to our responsibility. We have always lifted our own responsibility, and I believe we are going to stand for it, and we shall continue to do that so long we have their mandate. And the mandate is to be here, and that means we'll go. Your Excellency, I will tell you for free that part of the argument, yes, if you put in a law, for instance, the local government autonomy that we are canvassing, it's not the first time, but the only procedure recognized by the Constitution is through the alteration, and there are procedures for that. No any other group can sit anywhere and push and ask for that. And that's why you have the duty to recommit bills that have not been attended to, either in the preceding assembly or in the assembly that you are now coming in to inherit, or within the period you have a time frame to take a look at what is going on and push for cases. Your Excellency, I think we should not allow the backdoor system of governance into this country. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, Honorable Wase raised a very interesting point which I didn't think about before. Honorable Abonte, have you thought about the cost implication of this? The reason why I say he raised a very interesting point, you and I know we must take legislative notice of the fact that If you want 1 million signatures today, 10 people can sit down in a room and give you 1 million signatures. Now, to verify those signatures, you will take a lot of forensic study, a lot of experts. So that's the cost implication I'm trying to say. That what is the cost implication
Mr. Speaker,
of this? Hold on. So just bear that in mind when you have your right of reply.
Yes.
And we'll take 1 or 2 more, and then we'll give you your right of reply, and then we'll put the question. Honorable JJ.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
All right, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, while speaking, said that he will tell us for free.
What order?
That he will tell us for free.
What order?
The other ones he has been telling us, have
You sign the order, please. Sign the order. Honor member, sign the order.
Importantly, we have national ID card, which we can use to verify, and that is why we have such things. So nobody can stay in a room and forge signatures. Verifiable, and it's
JJ. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Jim Ibrahim Olajide. I represent Lagos Mainland Federal Constituency, Lagos State. Mr. Speaker, first I want to crave your indulgence that at any time, sir, any time, with due respect, when a point of order is being called for, that person should make reference to that point of order. It has becoming another thing entirely for the leadership, particularly Honorable Toby, to raise point of order and will not refer us to the point of order.
You said particularly Honorable Toby?
Yes. Thank you very much. Take note of that. I want to join my colleagues in discussing the issue of this bill. The petition is a protest and is acceptable under the rule of law. Inasmuch I support wholeheartedly what Honorable Obanta has brought to this House, there are certain issues I want us to read, particularly that 10,000 signatures shall receive, that's under compulsion. An immediate response from the National Assembly has to be made. That's another under compulsion. You cannot make things compulsory. You have to make sure you relax in a way that will be meaningful. And the meaning of what you are bringing out will be understandable. As far as I'm concerned on this issue, as good as the bill is concerned, there are certain clauses that we have to sit down and look into before a decision can be made. Thank you.
Honorable Olaniwaju.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Ibrahim Kunle Olarewaju. I represent the entire board of Moba, Ido-Osi, Ilejimeje Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I have cared to listen to the argument for and against this bill. I am honestly inclined to support this bill, particularly so because this House proud himself to be the house of the people. And I feel justice must not only be done, it must be seen to be done. We must not proud ourselves to be the house of the people alone. The people must be able to say and assert in truth and in spirit that indeed we are house of the people. However, in moving forward, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we must not turn our face backward. What do I mean?
We must what?
In moving forward, we must not turn our face backward. If we want to move forward and we turn our face backward, it's an attempt to collapse. Mr. Speaker, I think the problem is some of the wordings of this bill. There must be some discretion given to the presiding officer of this House in this matter. The word shall needed to be removed and give discretion to the presiding officer. Maybe after 10,000 signatures, and in the opinion of the presiding officer of this House, that now gives us leverage, because just like the Deputy Speaker just said, we know what can be done in this country. Several signatures can be generated within 10 minutes. So there must be certain discretion which the presiding officer of the House must be able to exercise for us to be able to activate this provision. If we have this provision, then it guides the House and it allows the people to ventilate their problem. In this way, the people will see the House as the House of the people, yet the House cannot be hoodwinked to taking a decision or taking an action that we know will have no consequence. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I would therefore advise that we should not throw the baby with the bathwater away. We can amend this provision to suit what the intendment of the presenter of this bill is, which is to see the House as indeed the House of the people. Thank you, honorable colleagues and Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me begin by thanking my honorable colleagues for the sentiments canvassed. And let me also assure my colleagues that, Mr. Speaker, this bill is not injurious. This bill seeks to advance all they are asking. Mr. Speaker, this bill puts no financial liability on anybody. It only puts administrative and responsive liability. What do I mean? When I said 10,000 signatures, that is my layman's thinking. The committee, the House, will tinker it the way they deem fit. Mr. Speaker, verifying a signature costs no money. We have names, we have BVN, we have voters' card. For this signature to be relevant, you must even be a voter, fit to vote and be voted for. And if you put that, that is democracy. If you're not fit to vote, you cannot bring it. So if you put your signature and your voter's number, it does not take, if there's data to run it, are we remaining in the old system? Let us be afraid of advancement. If we're afraid of, if we want to move forward, we need not look back, like Honorable said. Why are we looking back? We want to go forward. It will be disastrous that we are quarreling on how to verify 100,000 signatures in this modern age of computer, ITC, when 200 million, when 1,000 million can be verified, when people verify 1 million signatures in 1 hour. So, what we are saying, am I protected, Mr. Speaker? What I'm saying is, allowing people to ventilate. Mr. Speaker, like you asked, it is not mandatory that the House must agree with the so-called petitioners. No. But if the House have any reason to say no, there will be reasons projected to them, made public, why their reason will not go. 100,000, 500,000 are not all Nigerians. But if they gather and say, this is our complaint, this is what we want to be included, in the course of hearing that petition or that complaint, others will also be heard. Then the House will say, we have listened to you and listened to others. This is our opinion. This is our reason. They will have a feeling that they have participated. They will have a feeling that they have contributed. Mr. Speaker, I'll give you an example. Is there every matter that is being filed in court that the petitioner wins? But he's being heard. and court gives a judgment or ruling one way or the other. But he now feels that he has petitioned to court and at adjudication, and he has heard his view. That is more or less what this bill is saying. Are we going to say now, when you file a matter in court, the court must agree with the petitioner? No. But the court is mandatorily going to hear it and give their considered ruling as they deem fit, and will cite authorities or precedents or whatever. Except we're saying that the people do not need a voice. It will make the House will be proud, the House will take charge, that people bring decisions to them and they hear them. That's what we're asking.
I get your point.
Nobody should be afraid that we are doing the needful. If we are afraid futuristically, we keep fearing futuristically, we will not move forward. So in moving forward, do not look back. Of course, there is nothing that is 100% safeguard.
Oh.
But the House, the committee will look at it and find out how. That's why, in my opinion, I said the 10,000 signatures must be verified. And it's not the signature that we verify, it's the identity. And now we have names, we have Vivian, we have voters card. It's easy to verify.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Honorable Bonta. Now, if there's a petition or a public petition or something I'm protesting against, I have the option at this point, assuming that we pass this, I now have the option of coming through one of my members via the public petition means, right? As it is already. And I also have the option of taking 10,000 signatures, right? Which option will I exercise?
Now, let me distinguish them.
What this bill will now do is to now make it more difficult for the public to bring petition to this house. Do we want to do that?
Mr. Speaker, no. That's let me distinguish it. They're not on all fours. The petition we do here, currently, 90% of them are private petition. Petition that I've lost my work, unknown to me. You don't need signature. But what we're saying now is...
It's still the same effect. It's a petition is a petition is a petition.
No. Petition differs. For example, Mr. Speaker, litigation, some are concerning magistrate court, some are concerning high court, some petitions start from Supreme Court.
Let me go back to the NSAS that you mentioned. Could a group of people have brought a petition based on the issue of NSAS the way it is now in our house, our rules? They could have brought a petition, right?
Now, if you agree with me, NSAS engulfed Lagos, Abuja, Aba, Port Harcourt, and all whatnot. In that matter, let me also prove you wrong, Mr. Speaker. Amit Pisa. In the 5 agenda listed by NSAS, you presided over most of the 5 positions on them.
So you are making my point. They could have brought a petition, which they did.
Yet, it had no effect. It had no effect because one, they are there individually, but such a petition now will give it the nature, will give it the required condition it needs. The House would have promptly. Mr. Speaker, the House agreed that the service chief must go. It took him months. It took the House months to agree that the service chiefs must go.
But it was not based on...
So what we are saying is that such a petition will have been concise, promptly, and save us time and save us stress. So, Mr. Speaker, the wisdom in this, people seem to look at what they think are danger than the merits. I think that the merits of this in our deepening our democracy moves far above the fear we are trying to. We should give people a right, not to think otherwise.
Okay.
I want to pursue.
Very good. Very interesting bill. Very, very interesting bill. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Should I, Honorable Toby, should I put the question again?
Well,
Honorable Toby, should I put the question again?
Mr. Speaker, let me speak in silence. Let me speak in silence. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Jerry Agbaso. Where's Jerry?
Mr. Speaker.
Jerry is not here.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, you called me. If you have ear problem, you can repeat it. Thank you very much.
Honorable, did you just say if I have ear problem? Is that what you just said? Okay, I'm glad. Honorable Jerry, are you are chairman public petition? And so are you. And so are you.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
No, they're not, man. Mr. Speaker. I just came. I'm surprised, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my name is Jerry Alaboso, and I'm currently the chairman of public petitions. Mr. Speaker, I'm surprised that our brother Abonta, after climbing a tree, has decided to remove the ladder so the other will not come. As a result of that, Mr. Speaker, is the one I succeeded in the public petitions. I therefore wish to say that I've gone through the lead debate. I want to suggest, Mr. Speaker, that the public petition procedure should be left the way it is, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Jerry. Honorable, the Deputy Speaker was pointing something out. Honorable, yes.
I was referring, Mr. Speaker, to my distinguished colleagues that if you turn to our House Standing Order, page 36 to 37, where you have the functions of the Public Petition Committee, Your Excellency, everything that's been said, it's explicitly clear, recognizing individual petition, recognizing group petition, and even how to appraise the sheets in terms of signature and everything. So there's nothing is bringing new outside what we have in our book.
Thank you, DS. No. I'm afraid to put the question. There are three very powerful voices in this house, very powerful, very experienced, and they spoke in favor of this bill. Osai, Abonta, and Honorable Toby. Therefore, we cannot put the question. I know where the house is going. Honorable Abonta, you know why I like this? You know why I like this on a lighter moment? You have such a powerful voice on this floor over the years, and you've killed many motions. You have killed many motions, including one of mine when I was, I believe it was minority leader or something. You killed my motion. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Nays have it.
Mr. Speaker, point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order. Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Why the three generals?
Point of order.
the two powerful voices are who. Point of order. What's your point of order?
Order 9.
Sorry, I almost broke the gavel just now. Sorry.
Mr. Speaker, I come under Order 9, rules of debate. Order 9, rules of debate.
What page is that? What page?
Page 48. Page 48. Order 9, Rule 8. No member shall impute improper motive to any other member. Mr. Speaker, it is very apparent from your ruling that you were doing so based on the fact that he has killed so many motions, and that this is a revenge, and this is a payback time. Mr. Speaker, I had thought that you would listen to the message and forget the messenger. But it is apparent.
Honorable Toby, let me help you.
It is apparent
That provision, Honorable Toby, that provision you just read is out of place for two reasons. One, there was no motive. He says no member shall impute. Which motive did I impute? Number two, he says no member. He did not say the speaker shall not. I am the speaker here, not for the purpose of debate, not a member. So that is not applicable to me. Yes, I'm allowed to do that. Honorable Toby, you had a motion, a point of order. I'm really enjoying this. Honorable Toby, I'm sorry, Honorable Abonta. You have, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to also thank my colleagues for the robust debates. Mr. Speaker, on a lighter mood, let me commence from here. In the recent ruling of the appeal on over Osun State governorship election, just for the fact that the judges described the man as a dancing governor and ruled appeal nullified that ruling. But I'm not going to nullify what he said that I kill motions. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, on a reality, yes, debate is meant to be robust, debate is meant to be good. There should be hard feelings if a bill or a motion does not pass. I have no regrets in my attacking bills. If they are not worth it, I will speak my voice. And I have no pains in what happened today. It's all depending on the democracy. I remember if your bills are attacked during the COVID period. I spoke. I said, go to public hearing, and I did that in all fair play. I had no acrimony. Now that this year has come so, it's only in good faith. Some other day, the House may deem fit to see what I'm asking for. What I'm only trying to say is, I sent you on WhatsApp a book I wrote on public petition, people's rights, and asked you to review it. When you have time, read it. You'll understand what we're talking. I'll do that book presentation so we can see. If we be in Parliament, we do not document our experience for people to see, then we'll be leaving a big gap. So what I was trying to do is to fill in a gap. I also want to object that somebody who described that I climbed a tree and threw the ladder. He's talking what he doesn't know. He doesn't understand that. Of course, he jumped into it. I take exception to such language. He came in late and just jumped into the matter. I did not kick out the ladder. And I know I discharged my functions during publication reasonably well. And I said, look at the gaps. And then what the DS read is right. But that petition is limited to in-house. Of course, I shouldn't be saying this again because they've gavelled and so on. But we will look at it actually outside. But we need not be afraid of moving forward. We shouldn't look back. It's gone, it's gone. I pray that some other time people will come. We have different courts, magistrate court, Sharia court, because of all doing adjudication, all achieving one purpose and so on. And it's not mandated. I'll give you an example, Mr. Speaker. There are more than 1,000 petitions sent to this House. We've not done up to 100. Look at the constitution. Because the legislative time is not there. But some petitions, like you mentioned, urgent public importance. Some petitions will also be so urgent that it will take precedence. Thank you for the time given to me, and thank you all for what you've done. No screen pain. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Abonta. Maybe you misunderstood me. My point earlier on was it was a backhand compliment and commendation of your dexterity and your brilliance on this floor. Not very few people possess the ability to sway the House one way or the other, especially in killing bills. So it was a commendation, backhand compliment of your brilliance. So, yes, thank you. So, wow, it's been a long day. Honorable Kawu brought a motion earlier. Honorable Hafiz Kawu on NNPC. The ad hoc committee will be chaired by Honorable Kingsley Chinda. Members are Honorable Rurum, Honorable Olanrewaju, Honorable Bio, Alkali, Honorable Maki, Honorable Kawu, Honorable Amos Magaji, and Osby. Again, it will be chaired by Honorable Kingsley Chinda, and we have Honorable Rurum, Honorable Olanrewaju, Honorable Bio, Alkali, Maki, Kawu, Amos Magaji, and Osby. Yes, they have until the end of April, 3 weeks, to submit their report. I'll give it to you. Remind me. The 18th order of the day is commencement of the debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to amend the Medical and Dental Practitioners Act, Cap M379, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, to mandate any Nigerian trained medical or dental practitioner to practice in Nigeria for a minimum of 5 years before granted a full license by the council. The bill stands in the name of Honorable Ganiu Abiodun Johnson. Honorable members recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 6 December 2022, and I invite Honorable Johnson to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Abdul Ghani Johnson. I represent the good people of Oshodi Solo, Federal Constituency 2. I'm from Lagos. I rise to move the motion on a bill for an act to amend the Medical and Dental Practitioners Act, Cap M379, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to mandate any Nigerian trained medical or dental practitioner to practice in Nigeria for a minimum of 5 years before granted a full license by the council in order to make quality health services available to Nigeria and for related matters. HB 2130 to be read for the second time. Thank you.
Seconder, please. Honorable Obanikoro.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Representative Ibrahim Babajide of Banikoro. I speak for Itiosa Federal Constituency in the Center of Excellence. I rise to second the bill as moved by Rev. Ganiu Johnson. I so second.
Those in support, say aye. Oppose? Okay, Honorable Abonta. You see what I'm saying?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Uzoma Nkem Abontan from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, typically of what you just mentioned, I have in eyes of seeing bills that will not move on well. Mr. Speaker, you're a lawyer, a constitutional lawyer. What this bill is asking is offensive to rights, constitutional rights, and all whatnot. Let me take it again. The bill is asking that any Nigerian trained medical doctor must mandatorily train 5 years before he can be given license. After qualification, after license, you must work here 5 years compulsorily. That's not obtainable in any clime. Mr. Speaker, thanks to President Babangida, who then, before then, when you qualify as a lawyer, you do a tutelage, not even mandatorily. You do a tutelage in any chambers of your choice before you can start your own chambers. That law was seen as oppressive, retrogressive, anti-human rights, and it was abolished. That the day you leave law school, you can start your chambers. Now, this bill is saying, very beautiful bill, he's trying to make sure we don't have brain flight and all water and so on. Except you are giving them free scholarship to train. A parent may train the child in a medical school for 4 years, he qualifies. After 7 years, graduates, licensed to practice a medical doctor. Now the state wants to conscript that person to work for 5 years in Nigeria. For who? You didn't give them scholarship. You didn't provide for them. It is anti-right. That's what this bill is asking for. Why won't I oppose it? I have somebody now who is in medical school. So if you pass it when the government doesn't contribute a couple, then they'll come and do forced labor for 5 years. Haba. It shouldn't go. It shouldn't be. So how can you pass? I'm sure I want to draw attention to it. So if you see the purport of it, it's slavery. In a modern time, slavery. This is occupational slavery. How can the parliament allow occupational slavery to be? Once you pass it, it becomes a law, but it's a bad law. So I'm trying to say it should be optional. If you now want medical doctors to stay, you can say, upon graduation, any medical doctor who wants to work in Nigeria will earn 1 million naira a month. Nobody will run. They will all stay. But when you don't have good pay for them, not to them, they will migrate to where they will. If I take a bank loan to train my daughter or my son to medical school, upon graduation and licensing, he says you should come and stay here and receive 1,500 whatever a year.
Okay.
It's not possible.
You've made your point.
Honorable colleagues, please, let us step on this bill and rework it and come back. The way it is, it's not proper.
Honorable Johnson, do you have a... Hold on. Yeah, 4 o'clock. 4. Yeah. No. Okay, yes. Honorable Johnson. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Maybe the lead debate. Okay. Once more, I'm Honorable Ganiu Johnson, representing Oshodi Solo, Federal Constituency 2. I'm from Lagos. Maybe after listening to the lead debate, he will change his mind. Now, what really prompted this, there was a motion that I raised on medical brain drain. And in that motion, I prayed for certain things, that our public health care should be upgraded to general hospital. Our general hospital should be upgraded to specialist hospital and research centers. Also, I prayed in that motion that welfare packages of our medical practitioners
should be improved on through financial institutions and private sector and government. They should collaborate with government. I waited for a while. Nothing happened. It was the reverse. I noticed that there is heavy decline on medical brain drain. From 24,000 to now, as I speak, we have less than 10,000 doctors in Nigeria. So that is alarming. So I now thought to myself that, okay, let us look at our laws, what is happening. I noticed that, look, the vacuum is that immediately after housemanship, you know, we noticed that most doctors, because of greener pastures, there is a capital flight from Nigeria abroad to UK, America, and all that. Now, government has invested so much money in training these medical doctors. On the average, apart, yes, the subsidy, yes, it is government, the subsidy in training medical doctors. Say on the average.
1 second, Honorable Johnson, 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. No problem.
Yes, sir. Now, on the average, to train a medical doctor in Nigeria costs about 40 to 150,000 naira. Unlike their counterparts abroad, in US, it's an average of $82,000 to $100. That translates to over 60 million in naira. Ditto, that's at the exchange rate of 750 naira per dollar. Ditto in UK. So if you realize, if they can now take advantage of our situation, okay, and now open their doors, because just recently in 2020, UK opened healthcare and visa to people. They were all going to UK and US too, and Canada. So what should we do? Should we fold our arms? So now, and I said, okay, maybe to give back to the society, that is to our people, after training you. Yes, we are not saying you cannot go abroad to make your money, but if government has subsidized your tuition, okay, I mean, to the tune of 40 to 150,000, the least we can get from you is that after your housemanship, before you are given full license, before you are given full license, yes, before you are given full license, at least you can give back to the society within a period of 5 years. So after 5 years, you are free to go. At least you've given back to the society. So that's the meat of this. So my colleagues, Mr. Speaker, sir, I just pray that my colleagues will see wisdom in this and support this bill. Thank you.
So, Honorable Gani has explained to us, for every law, there's a mischief it seeks to cure. He has explained to us what the mischief is, brain drain, which we all talk about and complain about. We'll take one or two more. Honorable Toby, you are no. You are partnering with Honorable Abonta today, so I don't. Honorable Ningi.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, respected colleagues. I am Abdullah Saad Abdulkadir, representing Ningiwalji, Federal Constituency of Bauchi State. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support this bill because it has brought up a systematic way in which the country is going to address the problem of brain drain. Because like the mover of the motion, the bill has said, the sponsor of the bill, it pains us a lot to see that our skilled manpower, the way in which they are moving out of the shores of this country, it is something that we must stand up to address. And by bringing this bill, if it is adopted and passed by this House and concurred by the Senate and assented to by the President, is going to help this country in retaining the required and needed skills we need in improving our healthcare system in this country. Mr. Speaker, like he said, medical training abroad is very expensive, but here in Nigeria, the government is investing so much money and at a subsidized rate. So this bill is timely. I urge my colleagues to support this bill. In fact, at the public hearing level, I will make an input personally. If we like, we can make it a bit we can make it a bit flexible by putting an option. For example, rather than saying you should not be granted a license, we can say anybody who wants to live before 5 years, he should refund the government of Nigeria the money that was used in training him, and it should be determined at an internationalized rate, not subsidized rate that he earned in Nigeria. So we can have those options in order for the bill not to be too rigid. But this is a very good bill. It is going to help us a lot. In fact, it should be extended to other critical skills that we need in the country, not only medical profession. I support this bill with my...
Yes. Honestly, that's why...
I support this bill with my heart, Mr. Speaker, and I urge...
That's why I was very disappointed and upset when I heard that you lost your election. You are one of the very, very good legislators we have here. So it's just so unfortunate. So we're talking about restraint of trade here, is what we're talking about. Monkey they walk, babu they chop. So you spend your money to walk these people, and then babu over there will go and come and chop them. Yes. Honorable Salam. Yes, you are missing a very good, robust debate. But I'm sure the leader will brief you.
Please let me put that one off. Once again, my name is Bamidele Salam. I represent the fantastic people of the North and the South, Egbedo Federal Constituency of Osun State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to lend my voice of support in favor of the second reading of this very, very important bill which has come forth. A few of the issues I will have enunciated have been spoken about by Honorable Ningi, who spoke well before me. But I just want to add, Mr. Speaker, that when there is a critical problem in any society, as leaders of the society, we must be courageous enough to give the critical solution to the problem. There is no two way about it. We are losing a lot of our skilled manpower to countries that ordinarily should be the ones that will even be helping us to build this manpower. I don't have any record of having any form of support from the government of most of these technologically or medically advanced countries in support of our medical education in Nigeria. Yet, we spend our hard-earned resource in training our medical practitioners only for them to harvest them with all the offers of better welfare and packages that are given there. Yes, I agree that we need to do more as a country to improve on the welfare of our medical practitioners, just as we must do to improve the welfare of other critical professionals in Nigeria. But that is not enough. We must ensure that we evolve means of retaining this skilled manpower in the country for a minimum period of time as canvassed by the sponsor of the bill. So, Mr. Speaker, I think it is very important for us to head-on address this problem by supporting the passage of this bill into law to ensure that whoever benefits from the heavy subsidy of training in this country, in the medical profession or any other profession whatsoever, is under an obligation to offer service to the country that has trained him and sponsored him for a minimum number of years, and then he can take his leave and go off, to any other part of the world as he wishes. So, Mr. Speaker, I support the second reading of this bill, and I want to thank the sponsor of the bill for being courageous enough to bring this up at a critical point in time like this. Thank you so much.
Amos, then Bila.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name remains Amos Gwamna Magaji, and I represent the peaceful people of Zangon Kataf, Jaba Federal Constituency. We are from Kaduna State. Mr. Speaker, sir, before, at the point of graduation of every medical professional, there is an oath that is taken, which is service to humanity. It is called the hypocritical oath. And I can tell you, Mr. Speaker, that majority of this medical practitioner, I belong to a WhatsApp group of my university. Some of my classmates that are now abroad practicing, many of them didn't want to travel abroad. I support that. I support the bill, but that the license should be seized or temporary license should be given. I don't think it will help medical practice in Nigeria. Rather, they should give full license. Then if there's going to be a probational period that a medical doctor will stay and practice, I think that needs to be looked into. But beyond that, Mr. Speaker, I think we need to declare a state of emergency on our health institutions. Many of the medical doctors and many hospitals, many of us seated here, cannot even go and do a small eye surgery in a hospital in Nigeria. Many of us, even if it means going to remove appendix, many decide to go abroad. So there is a need to really look at the health institution. Some of the reason why many medical doctors travel abroad is not just the financial benefit. But I stand here, Mr. Speaker, to support the bill, but also to add that we should declare a state of emergency on our health institutions. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Bila, we need to put the question and move on.
Thank you very much, the Right Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues, Mark Tesegbila, representing Gwe East, Gwe West Federal Constituency of Benue State. Mr. Speaker, I thank Honorable Johnson for bringing this bill. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Now, I want to suggest that we look at how to rework this bill in itself, because as a professional myself, I do not think you should be able to practice with anything but your license, especially in such a critical field as medicine. How would you give somebody a temporary license? I don't know what that would imply. You need a proper license to be certified to practice. So the issue we're trying to cure is the brain drain. And that in itself, in my own opinion, Mr. Speaker, I think is a catch-22 situation that we're in now as a country. Do we try to restrict these people and impinge on their own fundamental human rights? Or do we start to provide for the resources that we need to apportion more resources to the medical profession? Because are we now going to start stopping builders like me, engineers? We have other professionals who are also jackpine, like they are saying the term they are using now. Is it only the medical profession that is a critical sector that we're looking at? So I am concerned about that aspect of saying they cannot have full-fledged licenses, and the fundamental human rights these Nigerians also have to self-actualization as well. Are we not impinging on that aspect of it? These are things that I think we need to look at critically. I am not in support of not issuing them licenses, but we need to look at what does the government need to do immediately. A state of emergency is good, but we need to look at the solution. Sometimes we use a hammer to kill a fly in Nigeria because we don't want to address the fundamental issues. So that is my position, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, we'll put the question. But before I put the question, let me just quickly address the very fundamental issue of fundamental human rights that has been raised by one or two speakers. If you go to section 45(1) of the Constitution, it actually allows you to deviate from fundamental human rights under certain conditions. If you have your Constitution, go to 45(1). And one of those conditions is where it concerns public health. It's specifically written there, public health, 45(1). So if the government or we feel that to safeguard public health, this restriction should be put, then we have not violated anybody's fundamental human rights. So I'll just put a question. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Yeah, wrong title.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to amend the Medical and Dental Practitioners Act (CAP) M379, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to mandate any Nigerian trained medical or dental practitioner to practice in Nigeria for a minimum of 5 years before being granted a full license by the Council in order to make quality health services available to Nigeria and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill is referred to the Committee on Healthcare Services. The 19th order of the day is a motion on discharge of Committee on Referrals on a bill standing in the name of Honorable Abubakar Fulata. Honorable Fulata is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Fulata. I represent Birniwa Krika Sama with the Federal Constitution. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, discharge of committees on referrals on bill pursuant to Order 18, Route 31G of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives. House notes that the following bill was read a second time and referred to the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services for legislative action, namely Federal University of Science and Technology, Reno, Ogun State, Establishment Bill 2022, House Bill 1852. House is aware that the committee is yet to present a report on the bill, contrary to the provisions of Order 18, Rule 31G of the Standing Orders of House of Representatives. To wit, any committee Any matter referred to any committee shall be treated within 30 days. Otherwise, the committee shall stand discharged after 60 days and the matter committed to the committee of the whole for consideration. House resolved to discharge the committee on tertiary education and services from the bill and commit same to the committee of the whole for consideration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Halims.
Okay, is it you? Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Abdullah Ibrahim Halims from Kogi State, representing the good people of Ankpa, Omalala, Federal Constituency. I rise to support the motion as ably moved by the Chairman House Committee on Business and Rule. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it. The 12th order of the day is a motion on the need to investigate the non-provision of mobile telecommunications network services to the undeserved and unserved areas of Nigeria by the Nigerian Communications Commission, despite the availability of Universal Service Provision Fund. Standing in the name of Honorable Sergius Ogun, Honorable Ogun is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Sergius Ose Ogun. I represent Eastern Northeast, Eastern Southeast, and I'm from Edo State. Need to investigate the non-provision of mobile telecommunication network services to the underserved and unserved areas of Nigeria by NCC, despite the availability of Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF. The House notes that Section 3 of the Nigerian Communication Act's Cap N97 laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, establishes a body known as the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, with the responsibility of regulating the communications sector in Nigeria. House also notes that Section 4 of the NCA Act, Cap N97, laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, the NCC is saddled with the responsibility of facilitating investments in and entry into the Nigerian market for provision and supply of communication services, equipment, and facilities. The House is cognizant of the fact that Section 112 sub 1 of the Act gives the NCC power to consider, design, and determine a system which shall promote the widespread availability and usage of network services throughout Nigeria by encouraging the installation of network facilities and the provision of network services to institutions in the unserved and underserved areas of the country, known as the Universal Service Provision. House is also cognizant that a community regarding reading of the provisions of sections 114 and 118 of the Nigeria Communications Act shows that the structure, governance, administration, and control of the Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF, shall be as determined or domiciled in the NCC. The House is aware that in the wake of the rapid expansions of the global system of mobile communication, GSM, in Nigeria, most of the mobile telecommunication network operators were reluctant to move to the rural areas owing to the business considerations. The House is also aware that the Nigeria Communications Act, Cap N97 laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, empowers the NCC to receive 2.5% of the annual turnover of the mobile telecommunication network operators as annual license renewal fee. The House is further aware that the NCC is expected to utilize the funds generated from the contributions of the mobile telecommunication network operators for implementing universal access strategy and program in accordance with federal government's policy, thereon as enshrined in Section 4 of the Act.
The House is informed that the NCC on its own decided to contribute 40% of the fund generated from the 2.5% annual turnover from mobile telecommunication network operators, translating to 1% of the final turnover of the operators to the Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF, a practice common throughout Africa. The House also have informed that the Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF, is to be used to build infrastructure in the underserved and unserved areas of Nigeria, which can subsequently be made available to the mobile telecommunication network operators, who will in turn utilize such infrastructure in serving the areas that are hitherto underserved and unserved. The House is further informed that the first major infrastructure project attempted by the NCC in this regard was the Emergency Response System, EROS, which led to the construction of emergency communication centers all over the country, with little or no results, despite the fact that the contract was awarded in millions of dollars with annual fiscal appropriations for the said project. The House is disturbed that the inability of the NCC to utilize the Universal Service Provision Fund to promote the widespread availability and usage of network services and applications throughout Nigeria, as enshrined in Section 112 of the Nigerian Communications Act, Cap N97, Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004, is a great disservice to the nation. The House resolves to set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the failure/inability of NCC to promote widespread availability and usage of mobile telecommunication network services throughout Nigeria, including the underserved and unserved areas, and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, my highly esteemed colleagues, I so move.
Yeah. Honorable Sejus, please approach the chair. Any second there. Honorable Bamshile. He left. Honorable Baba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleague. My name is Honorable Bado Amir Yusuf, member representing Shannon Ogoipere constituency. I'm from Kano State, Mr. Speaker. I stand to second the motion heavily raised by my honorable colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Somebody has amendment? What's your amendment?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. Mark Tesigbila, representing Gwe East, Gwe West Federal Constituency of Benue State. Mr. Speaker, my amendment is simply to add an investigation of the accruals into and utilization of the USPF by the NCC since inception of the fund. So the new prayer would now read that the House resolves to set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the failure and inability of the Nigerian Communications Commission to provide widespread availability and usage of mobile telecommunication network services throughout Nigeria, including the underserved and unserved areas, in spite of the availability of the Universal Service Provision Fund, which was created for this purpose, and investigate the total accruals into and utilization of the USPF by the NCC since inception of the fund. I so propose, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Pella.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Honorable Shina Pella. I represent the people of Iseyin, Itesiwaju, Kajola Iwajewa Federal Constituency of Oyo State. I am the leader of Yoruba land. I rise to second the amendment I so moved by Honorable Bila. I so second.
Those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Sages, why are you asking for an ad hoc committee, considering that we have a standing committee?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, I'm Sejus Ose Ogun. I represent Eastern Northeast, Eastern Southeast, and I'm from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, the issues raised are, well, I won't say they've been in the public domain, but there are issues that will need surgical operations. And considering that we have a short time here, I believe you will choose a crack team that can do justice to this within the shortest possible time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Your point is that we have very little time, and the standing committee is inundated with a lot of work. Is that okay? Those in favor of the motion as amended, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. The members of the ad hoc committee are as follows. Chairman will be Honorable Bamidele Salam, Honorable J.J. Jimo, Honorable Rahis, Honorable Idem, Honorable Duku, Honorable Makama, Honorable Halims, Honorable Sani Bala, Obanikoro, Honorable Kabir, the mover of the motion, Honorable Sejus, Honorable Bamishile, Honorable Fulata, Honorable Chinedu Oga. The members of the conference committee on the power sector. Oh yeah, we had an ad hoc committee earlier on the NNPC thing, yeah, and that was because even though we have a standing committee, the chairman of that committee is currently going through his re-election or rerun elections, and because of the time factor, we had to make use of an ad hoc committee. Honorable Musa Ada is the chairman, is in Sokoto busy preparing for his elections, which comes up on the 15th. We wish him luck. Members of the conference committee on the power sector reform bill, which we took today, Honorable Magaji Aliu, Honorable Jimo Olajide, Honorable Ibrahim Olanrewaju, Honorable Shehu Saleh, Francis Wave, and Honorable Shetima. Is the ad hoc committee. Honorable colleagues, I have a regrettable letter here from Honorable Obina Chidoka, notification of the passing of his mother, Deaconess Victoria Chidoka. It says, with a grieving heart, but thankful to the Almighty God, our Father, for the life of my mother, Deaconess Neka Victoria Chidoka, who passed on to eternal glory in the late evening of Monday, the 3rd of April, 2023, at the age of 75 years. Our mother is survived by her husband, children, grandchildren, brothers, and sisters. Her burial will hold on the 5th of May, 2023, in my hometown of Obasi Demili North local government area of Anambra State. This letter is signed by our colleague Honorable Obina Chidoka. May her soul rest in perfect peace. I believe it's appropriate that we have a 1-minute silence for Honorable Chidoka's mother. May her soul rest in perfect peace. Honorable Ononuga, please, you join them in the conference committee on power reform. You join them in the conference committee. And Honorable Stanley Olajide, clerk. Honorable Stanley Olajide was part of the ad hoc committee on the communications. Order to strengthen the Nigerian creative industry, standing in the name of Honorable Shino Pella. Honorable Pella is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Shino Pella. I represent the people of Iseyin, Itesiwaju, Kajola Iwajewa Federal Constituency of Oyo State. I am the Ayedero of Yoruba land, and I stand today to move a motion on the need to strengthen the Nigerian creative industry. The House notes that as the country seeks to diversify its economy from dependency of oil revenues, the creative industry, based on its current economic value, provides a veritable incremental source of employment, revenue, and growth. Also note that the United Nations suggests that the creative industry is a driver of employment, economic growth, innovation, and social cohesion. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm aware that available data tend to support this view. In a study that covered 11 creative industry sectors across 5 regions of the world, it was estimated that in 2013, the creative industry contributed $2.3 billion to the global GDP and employed over 29 million people worldwide. Significantly, and contrary to the expectations, the creative industries, which constituted a modest 3% global GDP yield, more revenue than traditional cash spinners like the telecommunications sector. Also aware that the British Council, through groups, discussions, and stakeholders, carried out a preliminary delineation of creative industries in Nigeria, which identified creative industries such as advertising, architecture in the areas of interior decor, landscaping, etc., art and crafts, fashion and design, home video film, television and radio, music, performing arts, as we have in carnivals, dance, drama, festivals, stand-up comedy, even in publishing, as we have in book fairs, e-resources, literature, etc. Also in tourism and hospitality, as we have in cuisine, museums and monuments, nightclubs, and events management, etc. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, further aware that according to the National Bureau of Statistics, in 2016, Nigeria GDP in 2015 amounted to 94 trillion naira. Analysis of the data from the report indicates that creative industries jointly contributed about 5 trillion naira to broadcasting, which is 29.6%, and motion pictures, sound recording, and music, which is 22.8%. Cognizant that Nigeria film industry, Nollywood, is one of the active creative industries regarded as a major force in the country's economic growth and strongest claim to global influence within the creative industry, which contributes about 22% to the country's GDP. It generates annual revenue of about 208 billion naira and offers legitimate employment to over 1 million people, making the sector the second largest employer after agriculture. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, also cognizant that Nollywood is the world's second largest film industry after Bollywood. It currently constitutes 11% of Nigeria's non-oil exports and produced approximately 40 films weekly. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, recall that the third sector to assess Nigeria's place in the global creative industry plane is the Nigerian music industry, which produces over 550 albums annually. At the global level, the late Afrobeat creator Fela Anikulapo Kuti was an iconic musician in Nigeria, but recently, Damini Eboluwa Ogulu, also known as Burna Boy, a Nigerian singer and songwriter, won the Best International Act at the 2019 BET Awards and was nominated the Best World Music Album at 62nd Annual Grammy Awards. He also won the Best International Act at the 2021 BET Awards. Recently, top Nigerian artist Davido's album, titled Timeless, has featured over 10 million user-generated playlists on Spotify. The album had over 12 million streams in 24 hours. This was the first time an album we achieved such a feat. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, worried that the creative industry is challenged by lack of intelligible policies, in 2011, the then President, His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan, promised to refocus the creative industry to achieve excellence. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, announced a tripartite move by the government, the British Council, and Tony Elumelu Foundation to map the creative industry, which has the potential to create employment, generate income and revenue for the economy. The House resolves to urge the federal government of Nigeria to urgently implement policies that will enhance the capacity of our creative industry as major revenue earners. 2, also urge the Minister of Information and Culture, as a matter of priority, to create and execute policies to strengthen the creative industries. 3, the House resolves to urge federal government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the National Assembly to please increase the budgetary allocation of the Ministry of Information and Culture in the 2024 budget estimate for optimal performance. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I so move.
Honorable Abbas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Abbas Ajigo is my name. I represent the people of Ibadan Southeast, Ibadan Northeast Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion moved by my colleague, Honorable Senior Pella, for my Payseta state, or your state. I so move.
Amendment, Honorable Abonta.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Uzaman Kimai Bonta. Mr. Speaker, I want to canvass some amendments, seeing that there's no need to run a lengthy debate. He had already done the debate. Mr. Speaker, a very good motion. He spoke from the position as if he's one of the creative artists. I could remember one of the Shina, Peter. I don't know if he's that of that extraction. Mr. Speaker, I want to bring an amendment on the prayers. One, urge the federal government of Nigeria to urgently implement policies that will enhance the capacity of the creative industry as a major revenue earner in areas of royalty collection, quality production, and protection of intellectual works. Mr. Speaker, also urge the Minister of Information and Culture as a matter of priority to create and execute policies to strengthen the creative industry, while, example, using man to ensure that piracy is sufficiently reduced. Mr. Speaker, we need to delete prayer 3, and if prayer 1 and 2 are sufficiently done, prayer 3 will generate revenue. Mr. Speaker, I was opportune to be in the Committee of Copyright Commission or whatnot. They collect some certain percentage of money if they strictly kill piracy, if they strengthen intellectual works. That musicians called ABBA at a time contributed 50% of that country's revenue. In fact, he underquoted what comes in here. It's interesting to know that Chinese in Lagos reap most of the works of creative industries who typewrite the CDs and all whatnot now. And the manner of collecting royalties and so on is so porous. Therefore, I support that, but these prayers need to be amended so we don't add more cost to the government by saying increase the budgeting position. That will certainly on this. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Ishmael, you want to second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I rise. My name is Tijanika Ode Ismail. I represent the good people of Ifelodun, Ofa, Oyun Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kwara State. I rise to second the amendment heavily made by Honorable Abonta. I so second.
Those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Bina, what's your amendment?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Obinna Chidoka, member representing Idemili North, Idemili South Federal Constituency of Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, from available data, you will see that this has become an important revenue earner for Nigeria and also an important employer of labor. And it has a lot to do with our economy. So for us to understand this some more, just like we did the environmental summit, can we, the relevant committee, my amendment is that to mandate the relevant committee to have the first ever legislative creative industry summit, to understand them better and to make the necessary laws that will open up our environment, our creative environment, for more investments to come in. I remember, I'm saying this from experience, from the environmental experience, and from the time ride-sharing, Uber was coming to Nigeria. Remember the issues we have, and they had to run to the legislature. So also, if we want to people to come out and Nigerians to increase their summit with the executive to really understand the full impact of the industry and make the relevant laws that will allow them to harness the opportunities therein.
Thank you. You can see Honorable Shino Pella is nodding his head, so I think he's in agreement. Honorable Ononuga, yes. You want a second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My highly respected colleagues, my name is Rep. Otumba Adewumi Oriyomi Ononuga. I represent the fabulously united people of Ikene, Shagamu, Remo North. I am from Ogun State, and I stand to second the amendment as moved by Honorable Obinna Chidoka. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of the amendment, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Those in support of the motion as amended, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. DS, you seem to be in a hurry. Allow me to go first.
The 22nd order of the day is a motion on need to provide social investment for victims of fire disasters at Monday and Gamburu markets in Maiduguri, standing in the honorable.
Mr. Speaker, my motion is on the urgent needs to provide special intervention for victims of fire disasters at Maiduguri Monday Market and Gamboru markets. The House notes the recurrent fire disasters in Maiduguri, most notably at Monday Market on 25th February 2023 and at Gamboru Market, while a large portion of the Gamboru Market was also burned down, though resulting in the destruction of goods and properties worth billions of naira. Aware that the popular Monday Market is the major hub for trading and business, not only in the Northeast region, but also serve the neighboring countries in the region, while the Gamboru Market serves as a major lifeline for most residents of Maiduguri, especially for food items. Worried that the unfortunate incidents have brought serious setbacks to the victims of the fire incidents and also millions of residents who patronize the markets to transact business, hence the need for strategic intervention to bring succor to the victims. Also aware that the Borno State government has made deliberate efforts at mitigating the impact of the disasters on the victims, including an immediate relief package worth 1 billion naira. But the scope of the impact is so huge, hence the need for the federal government to intervene. Results: 1. Urge the federal government, or the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Special Development, Northeast Development Commission, and the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, to provide immediate and long-term intervention to the traders and victims of the markets to aid in recouping their losses. 2. Send a delegation to commiserate with the victims and the government of Borno State. I so move.
Shetima.
Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable colleagues, I'm Lawan Shetima Ali, representing Bursari Gaidam Unusari Federal Constituency. I'm from Yobe State. I rise to second the motion, ably moved by my brother, Honorable Rais Karni. I so second, sir.
Colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. You want to add flesh amendment? Okay. Engineer.
Constituency of Borno State. My amendments is to add for an emergency intervention, the National Emergency Management Agency is not included. For immediate relief, NEMA should be part of the agencies that need the intervention, the urgent intervention. NEMA should be included. Thank you, sir.
Amendment. Aja.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Honorable Aisha Jibril Duku, Gimbier Duku, member representing Dukuna for the Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, my respected colleague, I rise to second the amendment as ably moved by my colleague. I so second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Respected colleagues, the 23rd order of the day is a resumption of consideration of a bill for an act to establish Federal Polytechnic Orozo, Abuja to provide full-time courses in technology, applied sciences, management and other fields of study, and to make provisions for the administration of such polytechnic and for related matters. All members will call that on Tuesday, 4th April 2023, the House in the Committee of the Whole the House and the Committee of the Whole considered and approved clauses 1 to 16 and deferred further consideration of the report. The leader will move for the resumption of the consideration. In the same vein, I would urge the leader to move the motion for the consideration of the bills from the 24th order to 32nd. Thank you for consideration. Leader, you have the floor. Obanta, leave the leader to concentrate.
Okay.
I say I'm going to move for the resumption of consideration of the Polytechnic Orozo, and then again at the same time move motion for consideration of the reports on the bills as follows: from 24th to 32nd,
Wow.
On the order paper.
24 to 32.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker and my dear colleagues, I move that a bill for an act. Why are you disturbing me? To establish the Federal Polytechnic Orozo, Abuja, to provide for full-time courses in technology, applied science, management, and other fields of studies, and to make provision for the administration of such polytechnic and for related matters, HB 698, be now considered. Also, that a bill for an act to establish Abuja Environmental Protection Board for the protection, regulation, management, monitoring, and control of all forms of environmental degradation and enforcement of standards and guidelines on prohibition of pollution and promotion of cooperation on environmental science and technologies in the Federal Capital Territory and for related matters, HB 1768, be also considered. I also move for the consideration of a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the Federal Capital Territory FCT Urban Development and Planning Commission for the purpose of formulation and preparation of physical developmental plans and the improvement of social amenities within the FCT and for related matters, HB 707. I also move for the consideration of a bill for an act to domesticate new partnership for Africa's development framework and establish African Union Development Agency and to give effect to its provision in the Federal Republic of Nigeria and for related matters, HB 2180. Also, I move for the consideration of a bill for an act to repeal the Federal Colleges of Education Act, CAP F8, laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Federal College of Education Bill and for related matters, HB 1455. I also move for the consideration of a bill for an act to amend the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Act, CAP N30, laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and to strengthen the operations of the agency, empower the agency to establish laboratories, update the list of dangerous drugs, review the penalty provisions, enhance the power of the agency to prosecute drug-related offenses, and issue subsidiary legislation, and for related matters, HB 2195. Also, I move for the consideration of a bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation Act (CAP) N102 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and enact the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation Bill 2023 and 2023 and for related matters HB 2196. Also, I move for the consideration of a bill for an act to establish the National Environmental Research and Training Institute for the development of environmental policies, training and research and for related matters HB 2136. Also, I move for the consideration of a bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Loan and Risk Management of Nigeria to provide for the control of its membership and promote the practice of risk management in Nigeria and for related matters, HB 2037. A bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Directors in Nigeria to provide professional training to directors and to promote effective governance, public accountability, professional efficiency, and for related matters, HB 1571, be now considered. Finally, that's it.
Ellington's bill.
No, sir. I so move, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Speaker, distinguished colleagues. I remain Benjamin Okezie Carlo. I represent the good people of Nigeria, starting from Bende Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion ably moved by the Deputy Leader of the House. I so second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. The 33rd order of the day is consideration report of the Conference Committee on the bill for an act to repeal the Insurance Act (CAP) 117 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and enact the Insurance Bill 2004 to provide a comprehensive legal framework for insurance business in Nigeria and for related matters. All members will recall that the report was laid on Thursday, 6 April 2023. Honorable Darlington Nwokocha will move for his consideration.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. The bill to repeal Deposit Insurance Corporation Act of 102 laws of leave and so I will give the synopsis. I'm standing in for Honorable Nwokocha. This bill seeks to deepen.
Yeah, my brother, you had to move for the consideration at this stage.
I move. Sorry, I'll move for the consideration of this very all-important report in the insurance industry. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Seconder, let me go to Abuja.
Honorable Speaker, my colleagues, I remain Honorable Mika Johanna Jiba, a member representing the people of Amak, Ambori, Federal Constituency, FCT, Abuja. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion moved by my colleague. Mr. Speaker, I say second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Colleagues, the 34th order of the day is consideration and report on the Committee on Health Institution on the bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery fee and for related matters. All members recall the report was laid on Thursday, 30th March 2023. On a Pascal Obi will move for its consideration. Well, we apply the same method of what we did yesterday because we do not want our colleagues to suffer. So, Acting Chairman Rules and Business, Halims, applied for the leave of the House to suspend our rule to enable the House to consider this report. 2 motions.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker, my distinguished honorable colleagues. Abdullah Ibrahim Halims is my name. From Kogi State, I represent Ankpa Omalola Federal Constituency. I rise to apply for the House to suspend these rules to enable us consider the report on the report of the Committee on Health Institution on a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, COFI, and for related matters, HB 1185, and approve the recommendation therein. This was laid on 30/4/2023. Thank you.
Kwara.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues. My name is Tijani Kayode Ismail. I represent the good people of Ifeludu of Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kwara State. I rise to second the motion, heavily moved by Honorable Halims. I so second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 35th order of the day is constitutional report of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to establish Hollywood Nantoro University of Fisheries and Aquaculture, New Busa, Niger State, to promote science-based research and fisheries and agriculture and fellow matters. All members will recall that the report was laid on Wednesday, 5th April 2023. Honorable Munida Gundi will move for his consideration. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. Yes, Onaga, please.
Sit down now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Okay. Oh, sorry.
You left the seat. That was why I was looking at Nunuga. Otherwise,
Mr. Speaker.
Occupy the seat properly after her motion. Yes.
Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Highly respected colleagues. My name is Rep. Otumba Adewumi Oriyomi Ononuga. I represent the fabulous United People of Ikene, Shagamu, and Remo North. I'm from Ogun State. And I stand here on behalf of Honorable Muni Dan Agundi to move a motion that the report of...
On his behalf, so that the voice and procedure will be clear, we are suspending our rules to enable the House consider the report in the committee of the whole. The reason why we are doing that, we are getting to the end of the session, and we would not like our colleagues to suffer in terms of their hard work. Thank you.
I move that the House do suspend the rules so that we can consider the report of the Committee of Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to establish Haliru Dantoro University of Fisheries and Aquaculture, New Busa, Niger State, to promote science-based research in fisheries and aquaculture and for related matters, and approve the recommendations therein. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Ahmed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleague, my name is Badao Ahmed Yusuf, member representing Shano Kogwe constituency. I'm from Kano State, Mr. Speaker. I stand to second the motion heavily raised by my brother or my sister. I so second. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 36th order of the day is a motion. That 36th order of the day is consultation of report on the Committee on Steel on a bill for an act to establish National Meteorological Training Institute, Sagamu, Ogun State, to provide training, information, supervision, guidance, advice to students, researchers, and personnel in iron and steel and oil and gas industry for national development and for labor matters. Honourable members recall that the bill, the report was laid on Tuesday, 5th April 2022, and now invite Honourable Halims to move that the bill be for consideration of the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleagues, Abdullah Ibrahim Halims is my name. I'm from Kogi State. I represent the good people of Ankpa, Olamaboro, and Omala Federal Constituency. I stand to move that the report of the Committee on Steel on a bill for an act to establish National Meteorological Training Institute, Shagamu, Ogun State, to provide training, information, supervision, guidance, and advice to students, researchers, and personnel in iron and steel and oil and gas industries for national development and for related matters, HB 528, and approve the recommendation therein be considered. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My distinguished colleagues, my name is Honorable Musa Umar Garo. I represent Gorzakova Federal Constituency from Kano State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by my honorable colleague. I so second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Respected colleagues, the 37th order of the day is consisting of two reports of the Committee on Basic Education and Services. Honorable Julius will move for his consideration, ably represented by Aja Gimbenduku.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My highly respected colleagues, I am Honorable Aisha Jibril Duku, Gimbier Duku, member representing Dukuna for the Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Gombe State. I rise to move that the rules be suspended to enable us take these two reports from the Committee on Basic Education, that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Basic Education and Services on a bill for an act to provide for establishment of National Board for Arabic and Islamic Studies to have responsibilities for the conduct and regulations of examinations and its due administration and for related matters, HB 1728, and approve the recommendations therein. And also want to move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Basic Education and Services on a bill for an act to establish National Commission for Al-Majri Education and Out-of-School Children to provide for a multimodal system of education to tackle the menace of illiteracy, develop skill acquisition and entrepreneurship programs, prevent youth poverty, delinquency, and destitution in Nigeria, and for related matters, HB 2028, and approve the recommendations therein. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Jega.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I'm Mohammed Umar Jega, representing Alero Gondu Jega Federal Constituency. I rise to second the consideration of the two reports as raised by my honorable colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, move that the House dissolve into committee of the whole to consider reports and bills.
Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleagues, Comrade Peter Ohionzoja Patterson, MNI, I move that this House dissolve to committee of the whole to consider reports. I so move.
Kalu. Honorable Kalu.
Thank you, most distinguished Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Benjamin Okezie-Kalu. I represent the people of Nigeria, starting from Bende Federal Constituency. Rise to second the motion ably moved by the Leader of the House. I so second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. House is hereby resolved into committee of the whole to consider reports and bills. Respected colleagues, the first bill to be considered for an act to establish a federal polytechnic in Orozo, Abuja, to provide a full-time courses in technology, applied sciences, management, and other fields of study, and to make provision for the administration of such polytechnic and for the matter. Now I invite the leader of that to give the synopsis. I think we got the synopsis yesterday. It's resumption of consideration, and we have done substantial up to clause 16. And then we discovered that there were some issues regarding certain functions that we had now to ask that we had to ask the secretariat to go and do the cleaning. I believe it has been done. Yes. Thank you. So clause 17 is on which page? (18), 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. (27), 28, 29, explanatory schedules and explanatory memoranda. Honorable Micah, long title. I don't know, you want this one to be managed by FCT, I suppose. Administration, not federal government. Huh? You sponsored the bill? Federal government? Ah. No, if he wants it to be managed by the federal government, it's different. FCT administration could manage, but the federal government have a compendium of all institutions. All he needed to do was to insert the name. This one will be managed by FCT. That's the way this one has come. Thank you. Gimbe, I'm not saying no, but the way he couched the bill, I'm just seeing it. We will have just taken the bill that have the schedule of the various states now. All he needed to do was to include the name Orozo. That's all. And it will be a repeal and enact. That's all. Maybe you have to come with another bill. It's not bad for him to have two institutions. Respected colleagues, the second bill to be considered is for an act to establish Abuja Environmental Protection Board for the protection, regulation, management, monitoring, and control of all forms of environmental degradation and enforcement of standards and guidelines on provision of pollution and promotion of cooperation on environmental services and technologies in the Federal Capital Territory and for matters. Now I invite the leader to give the signals with the bill.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chair and my colleagues, the bill before us is for the establishment of Abuja Environmental Protection Board to carry out the underlisted functions, and the recommendations of the committee are contained in here for our consumption. Thank you.
Here I have up to 47. Are you sure the... Are you sure? Who is pushing for the bill? This is an agency. Jimo. Is not on the floor? Honorable Jimo, your bill have how many clauses does it have? Are you sure? Then a clause is missing here. That is what you see there as the last page. But 41 is not here. 42, sorry. 42 is not on the list, on the bill. Clause 42, check. Maybe we'll have a different copy. Eh? Forty-two. 40 page. Thank you. Thank you. It's numbering. You are sure your numbering was correct? So which one do we work on assumptions? Huh? You are a lawyer. Assuming the 42 clauses there and then it's omitted, what do we do? Thank you. Clause 1, anyway, what I will ask is to beg the House to allow the Secretariat, believing that they have done a good job, we will take to 47, whatever, 47, 47, a bit. That's what I would beg the House. Thank you. 1 to 10, 21 to 31, 41 to 46/47. Got it? Whichever is appropriate. Explanatory memoranda and long term. That's the advantage of being regular. The third bill to be considered is for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal Capital Territory Urban Development and Planning Commission for the purpose of formulation and preparation of physical development plans and for improvement of social amenities within the FCT and following matters. I now invite the leader to give the citizens report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The bill before us is for the establishment of Federal Capital Territory Urban Development Commission for the purpose of formulation and preparation of physical development plans for our dear FCT. My dear colleagues, when we wonder if we don't already have this and why we've not already got one up till now, what it means is that it's long overdue and we need it as a people. So I urge that we look at the recommendations and consider them speedily. Thank you very much.
Thank you, colleagues. Clause 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 8, 9, 10, 11. Explanatory memoranda and long 13. Thank you. 20? Are you sure? Do I have that? Okay, sorry. $11 to 20. Thank you. Explanatory memoranda and long 13. Respected colleagues, the fourth bill to be considered for an act to domesticate new partnership for African development framework and establish the African Union Development Agency and to give effect to the provisions of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and following matters. I now invite the leader to give the synopsis of the report.
Mr. Chair and my colleagues, this bill seeks to domesticate NEPAD framework and establish an African Union Development Agency to effectuate, their provisions in our own country. You have a couple of recommendations to that effect, and I urge that we look at them very critically during our consideration.
Clause 1, 2 to 5, 6 to 13. Explanatory memoranda and long 13. What I have here. What was the last page? 13, okay. 14 to 23. Explanatory memoranda and long 13. The fifth bill to be considered is for an act to repeal the Federal College of Education Act Cap F8 Laws of Nigeria 2004 and enact the Federal College of Education Bill on unfolding matters. I now invite the leader to give the sums of the bill.
Mr. Chair and my colleagues, this bill under consideration seeks to repeal the existing Colleges of Education Act and introduce a new one for the purpose of, unifying the rules for easy implementation. I therefore seek our cooperation in considering this speedily. Thank you.
Micah, there's a similar bill for polytechnic, just like this one is done. And this was the format I was advising. Thank you. Clause 1 to 34. Carried? Because the amendment will just be done in the schedule, Abi? Yes. The schedules and the explanatory memorandum are long title of the bill. The seventh bill to be considered is for an act to repeal the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation Act Cap N102 Laws Federation of Nigeria. Okay, the sixth bill to be considered is for an act to amend the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Act Cap N30 Laws Federation of Nigeria 2004 to strengthen the operation of the agency, empower the agency to establish laboratories, update the list of dangerous drugs, review the penalty provisions, enhance the power of the agency to prosecute drug-related offenses and issues subsidiary legislation, and for little matters. And I invite the leader to give the synopsis of the bill. Yeah, what are the issues in Ubuntu and lawyers? Well, this subsidiary legislation. I'm concerned about that area.
It's very spurious on this bill. Thank God my chairman is here. We worked assiduously on this bill, Lagos, everywhere, and so on. There are certain things that I'm complaining here that we remove. For example, we deemed it fit to remove life imprisonment, but agreed on 10 years, 15 years. I'm seeing 15, 25 here. If you pick a young boy who is involved in wheat and put him for 25 years, like you've ruined the life, and so we agree at about 10. Then subsidiary legislation must be stated. So you don't add what is bigger than that here. Then two, on forfeiture of properties, it must be assets directly linked to the process of narcotics, not indirectly and so on. Assuming your father or your grandfather inherited a farm in the village and the person is involved in whatever here, they will even attach anything at all and so on. I mean, it's
because if there's no containment, there should be total punishment. I think I subscribe to the directly and indirectly, because you may hardly, provided the court establishes and the forfeiture is granted, we shouldn't query. Yeah. Because it has been proven beyond reasonable doubt before any competent court of law to say the property should be forfeited to federal government. It should not just be, I'm running away from the fact that if you want to go the way you are asking us to do, it may have to do with the moments, issues at the moment to discuss. But if you want to eliminate and stop that heinous crime against Nigerian populace, the provisions here are things okay. I'm concerned about subsidiary legislation, so that we don't allow them to go and then to begin to regulate and make other laws that will come and be detrimental. I'm of the opinion that every law should come back to the National Assembly for proper legislation and procedure. That's my own. Yes, sir, Chairman.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. My name is Francis Otagbo. I represent Ado Okpoko Obadibo Federal Constituency. You know very clearly, like you stood here the other day to express the position of Nigerians on this illicit drugs. We actually had a lot of retreats, and we were of the opinion that there was need to make it, the penalties, very, very stringent because of the problems we now have in this country. There was a public hearing that experts, stakeholders came from all over the place to make their inputs. I think that this report should be considered at the point of implementation. If there's any need, to rejig or to remove, we could do that, because it is high time the NDLA Act is actually amended. Because the way today we are going in this country, it seems that we are not even serious with the fight against narcotic drugs. And that is why you see that the menace is progressing at a geometric progression, while the methods and strategies of fighting this scourge is progressing at an arithmetic progression. So I will urge Mr. Chairman to allow the report to stay. If there is need to make some rejigging, do an addition, or do some amendments in future, it could be done because there's no law that's actually 100% excellent. Thank you.
I will remain an advocate of fighting drugs, and seriously. However, I'm not supposed to argue with my chairman, and I participated in all the retreats religiously. There was differential treatment and punishment in users and dealers. It must be emphasized. Any punishment, no matter how you intend to do it, you can't differentiate between users, dealers, producers, and so on, is defective. Any law, because whatever I want to cure, that does not have a human and progressive whatever, is not deemed to be. That is why most crimes don't even have life sentence or death penalty. Sometimes Nigeria were involved in death sentence in drug. Did it stop? It increased. In fact, it went up. So that should be seen. I mean, our law must meet the standard of civility, international and otherwise. And I'm not against it. So we must be able to look at that. And subsidiary legislations should be such that it should not be more than legislation. Chairman, sir, any law you put in place that is even offensive, my brothers, I do not know. The law are supposed to